नमस्कार विद्यार्थी
ओके
मित्रांनो. नमस्कार विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो. निसर्ग शाळेमध्ये आज 14 मे 2022. खरं तर आजचा दिवस सुद्धा ऐतिहासिक दिन आहे. ज्या छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांनी पर्यावरण विषयक धोरण राबवलं, शेतकऱ्याच्या भाजीच्या काठीला सुद्धा त्रास होता कामा नाही. एवढंच कशाला, शेतामध्ये जे शेतकऱ्यांनी आपल्या मुलाप्रमाणे वाढवलेले झाडं असतात, वृक्ष असतात, ते सुद्धा विनाकारण तोडायचे नाहीत आणि सुकलेले वाळलेले झाडं तोडायचे आणि ते सुद्धा शेतकऱ्यांना मोबदला देऊनच तोडायचे, असा ज्यांनी हुकूम काढला. आणि त्यांच्या हुकुमाचं, त्यांच्या आदेशाचं, त्यांच्या लोककल्याणकारी आणि पर्यावरण पूरक राजकारणाचं, धोरणाचा ज्यांनी पुढे खऱ्या अर्थानं आपल्या आयुष्यामध्ये 9 वर्षामध्ये, त्या कारकिर्दीमध्ये ज्यांनी जगभरामध्ये हा विचार पसरला, असे युवा साहित्यिक आपल्या दुसरे छत्रपती, मराठा साम्राज्य दुसरे छत्रपती आणि युवराज असणारे छत्रपती संभाजी महाराज यांच्या जयंती. आणि या महापुरुषांनी आपल्या कारकिर्दीमध्ये राजेशाहीच्या काळामध्ये सुद्धा पर्यावरणाचा विचार, जो आधुनिक विचार आहे, लोकशाहीवादाचा विचार, जो आधुनिक विचार आहे, असे रयतेचं राज्य, समाजाचं राज्य, दुःखी गोष्टी समाजाचं राज्य निर्माण केलं. आणि एक प्रकारे लोक कल्याणकारी धोरण म्हणजे शेतकरी असेल, कामगार असेल, एवढंच कशाला, पर्यावरणाच्या बाबतीमध्ये सुद्धा त्यांची भूमिका ही आता एक प्रगल्भ अशी भूमिका होती. अशी भूमिका राबवणारे छत्रपती संभाजी महाराज यांना सर्वप्रथम जयंतीनिमित्त विनम्र अभिवादन. आणि त्यांचं कार्य, त्यांचे विचार, त्यांचे पर्यावरणविषयक धोरण आपण या अनुषंगाने संस्कार पुढे घेऊन जाण्याचा प्रयत्न या ठिकाणी करणार आहोत. आजचं निसर्ग शाळेमध्ये विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, तुम्हाला माहित आहे की 6 दिवस कृती आणि 1 दिवस निसर्ग शाळेमध्ये आपला पाठ असतो. आणि सध्या आपण जगभरातला निसर्ग आणि भारतामधील जे जे राज्य महत्वाचे आहेत, त्या महत्वपूर्ण अशा राज्यांचा निसर्ग आपण अभ्यासत आहोत. आणि म्हणून आजचं आपल्यामध्ये पुष्प गुंफण्यासाठी आपल्या बाजूचं असणारं महत्वपूर्ण असणारं राज्य, ज्याला की तांदळाचं कोठार म्हणतात, जिथे की आपण 12 ज्योतिर्लिंगापैकी एक ज्योतिर्लिंग ज्या ठिकाणी आहेत, ज्या ठिकाणचे भैमुख जे म्हणतो आपण, शेंगदाण्याचं पीक ज्या ठिकाणी फार महत्वपूर्ण आहे, मच्छी पालन जे आहे त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा भारताला मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये परकीय चलन ज्या ठिकाणी मिळून दिलं जातं. आणि वृक्ष असेल, झाडं असेल, त्याच्यामध्ये आच्छादलेलं राज्य म्हणजे आंध्र प्रदेश. आणि आंध्र प्रदेश राज्याची माहिती सांगण्यासाठी आपल्यामध्ये तिथल्याच एक पर्यावरण स्नेही, साहित्याचा अभ्यास करता करता पर्यावरणाचा अभ्यास करणाऱ्या, पर्यावरण चळवळीमध्ये काम करणाऱ्या आदरणीय डॉक्टर एस लावण्य मॅडम आज आपल्यामध्ये आहेत. सर्वप्रथम निसर्ग शाळेमध्ये आदरणीय मॅडमचे या ठिकाणी मी मनपूर्वक स्वागत करतो. आणि आपल्या निसर्ग शाळेतील सुरुवातीपासून संलग्नित असलेल्या, केवळ पालक म्हणून नाही तर स्वतः सक्रिय असणाऱ्या अशा आदरणीय डॉक्टर प्रणाली जाधव जीवरक मॅडम यांना मी या ठिकाणी विनंती करतो की आजच्या आपल्या निसर्ग शाळेमध्ये आलेल्या प्रमुख पाहुण्या आदरणीय लावण्य मॅडम यांचा परिचय आपल्या शाळेतील सगळ्या चिमुकल्यांना या ठिकाणी करून द्यावा.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes.
Good evening and very warm welcome to all of you. Nature School is a very unique, dynamic, creative and innovative concept. It introduced to the children in last year, and throughout the year, many eminent personalities are invited to guide the students. This school helps the student to become nature activists. They come closer to the nature with the help of this school. And this school also creates environment awareness among the students. Recently, the school invited many NRI from various countries to introduce the nature and environmental aspects of that particular country. Today's chief guest is very eminent personality, Dr. S. Lavanya from Andhra Pradesh. And it is great honor for me to introduce her on this online platform of Nature School. Let's try to get more information about her. I'm very happy and I would like to introduce Dr. S. Lavanya. She is an educational facilitator and administrative sub-functionary. She has almost 25 years experience. She is a dynamic educational instructor with core competency and interdisciplinary inclination. She is committed and is to create student-centered classroom ambience. She is experienced in handling interdisciplinary courses. And yes, the most important thing is that She is a human with concern for nature, society, and humanity. Now let's try to get more information about her administrative and academic function. She is a professor in charge for Girls Hostel since 2010. She is also a member of Anti-Ragging Committee since 2008. She is a Board of Studies Chair of English Department in KL University. She is a member of Academic Council in KL University. She is a subject expert and BOS member of NSRIT. She is a course coordinator for about 20 courses over a period of 15 years. She is designing lab activist, and she has an honor to be a resource person, course designer for faculty development program. She is a student counselor and mentor. And yes, the most important for our nature schools, I would like to tell you that she is a nature activist. Now, try to get some information about her educational qualification. Dr. Lavanya has completed her doctorate degree from KL University. Her dissertation topic is Quest for Identity by Women in Sikh Novels of Shashi Deshpande and Anita Desai, a study. And ma'am, here I would like to tell you that Shashi Deshpande is also one of the most favorite writer. She has also completed her MPhil from Madurai Kamaraj University. She has completed postgraduate diploma in teaching English from CIFL, Andhra Pradesh. She's also completed her postgraduate certificate in teaching English from CIFL, Andhra Pradesh. Now, she has published many papers at national level, international level. She has participated many conferences, published many papers at conferences at national level, international levels. She has conducted almost 3 workshops, and she also has participated in many workshops. She is a member of Sahitya Akademi. She is a member of ELTI, English Language Teachers Association of India. She is also the member of JK Research Foundation. She is also the member of ICWS, Indian Commonwealth Society. So here, it is a big personality, an eminent personality is here. So I am very thankful to you to being here, ma'am. Now, I would like to kind request to you to guide our children and tell them something more about the nature and environment of the Andhra Pradesh. Now, I would like to hand over the session to our today's chief guest, Dr. K. Lavanya.
Unmute them. Please unmute your mic. Lavanya ma'am, please unmute. Yes.
Sorry, thank you. I'm so grateful to all of you. And when I heard about the kind of work you people are doing, I thought I have to be part of this. And thank you, Pranali Jadhav, madam, for giving us such a elaborate introduction. We are nothing compared to this nature. We are just the size of an atom. So what little I can do, I have done with the students. Apart from all this, what I actually am interested is, I'm also a member of the Eco Club of our university. I work for KL University, which is in Vijayawada. We also have a branch in Hyderabad. And we started our journey as an engineering college, but now we have become a deemed university. And it is KL University that has been receiving for the past 4 or 5 years, we have been receiving the Green Award, the Green University Award, Green Ambience Award for the university right from 2019 in Andhra Pradesh, and it stands second in the nation. So we have been making all these, a mandate in the university where we ban plastic, we don't use banners, we don't use plastic cups, plastic utensils. We have totally banned that. And we use only electronic things, or we use things made out of wood or millets is something that they have trying now, the edible plates and edible glasses and edible spoons. So the university as a whole does this. And every time when we have a fest or any activities, we make it a mandate that whoever participates has to follow the same. So we are making little gestures of our own. I'm so happy to interact with you. Now that we are moving on, I'll just give you a quick view of our university, a little video of that place. What a green, wonderful place we are. As you might have heard, I'm from Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh, even before it got split into two different states, was known as the rice bowl of the South or India, because its major agriculture interest was growth of rice. And this particular part of Andhra Pradesh, the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, also was known for it. Now also, this being closer to the ocean, the Delta region is the present Andhra Pradesh. It's rich in its rice, and agriculture is the main source of their occupation and income too. So I'll just give you a quick view of my own organization, which inspires me, which keeps me going, which gives me opportunity to explore my own strengths and challenges me to work further, not only for our students, but also to the others in the neighborhood, because the university has adopted about 4 villages around the place. It gives all the technical support. We train them in English. We train them in their food and health and hygiene. Sanitation is taken care of. All these, we have different wings of that in the university. We also look into women empowerment. We look at helping them being entrepreneurs. We set up industries and try to provide or try to kind of earn livelihood also through those industries, the small scale industries that are set up. And we also, as a unit, as a women empowerment unit, we there also have women who work on their crafts and whatever they know. Nowadays, we know the local arts, everything are dying away day by day with the intrusion of too much of westernization, too much of internet and too much of technology. Something which is beautiful and handmade, these arts are dying away. So the organization as such has taken up this, and it trains women, especially, of course, trains them and provides them flexible timing so that they can come and make them, which will be marketed in a big way. So these are the things that we are doing, helping them to believe in nature and not just jump into the short-term requirements. I'll just share with you a quick video of our university, and then I'll move on into the main presentation.
त्यांचा ऑडिओ बंद झालाय.
शेअर करताय, स्क्रीन शेअर करताय.
आवाज येत नाही सर.
एक मिनिट.
Yeah, I'll just share the screen.
Oh, yes.
1 minute.
Please wait.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can you
Yes,
see
ma'am,
my
we can
screen?
see.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'll just start. That's our university. I think I'll stop this screen sharing. I didn't want to. 1 minute. Just give me a second. One second. Give me a second.
It's too beautiful, ma'am. It has a very natural surrounding.
I'm trying to show the video of IAP also. 1 minute. Just I'll try to stop sharing and. Yeah, we are on the banks of the River Krishna, and the university has, during summer, has not just the NSS groups, but eco activists, we call them, nature lovers, we call them. They take up the activities of cleaning the river. It's actually a canal that supplies water to all the fields, and it's in the heart of all the agricultural area there. In full swing, when the video is there, you will see the banana plantations there, and it's full of that area, particularly Vadeshuram, around that area. It is known for the flowers. They supply the best of chameli to not just Andhra Pradesh, even to Telangana. That is the rest of the Andhra Pradesh, earlier Andhra Pradesh. They're known for it. They supply in hordes of it. We are known for all the flowers, because you might have heard about Tirupati Balaji also. All the flowers are from around the place. He has his own lands, of course, and flower gardens. So it's all flowers and fruits and everything. And the university is in the heart of it. Now we have started the agricultural department, agricultural BSc, where they're coming out with minimum disruption to the nature using organic, manure or organic fertilizers, no more chemical fertilizers. And they want to use this particular learning process for all the students as well as the neighboring villages also to adapt the same. So that is the reason why when I was called for this, I showed the enthusiasm. Now, as said, I'll share something to you about my state, Andhra Pradesh. Yeah, I hope you can see that. I'll just share it. Andhra Pradesh now, like earlier, it's not as vast as it was earlier. I think all of you are aware. We are now split into two states of Telugu states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. I'm from Andhra Pradesh, which is still actually, you might have heard maybe from your elders or so. In India, we have the system of counting calendars, depending on the greatest of the rulers of India. You have a Vikrama year, you have a Shaka year. Like that, we have the first of the rulers, the Shatavahana. We have the Shatavahana calendar actually. The first of the Andhra rulers, Gautamiputra Shatakarni. And Andhra Pradesh is known, the greatest thing about it is, it's the Shatavahanas had their mother name as their initial, unlike the others. So Gautamiputra Shatakarni was the first of them who had his mother's name. So it was, unlike the Western nations, India was very strong, like in Kerala, like in Bihar, some of the places, though we say it is in a very bad shape now. These were all the matriarchal societies which we had in parts of Karnataka also. Some of the kingdoms, there was the matriarchal societies where the woman was the queen and the others were following. So it doesn't mean that men were eliminated. And if you find, these were the places that were rich in agriculture, nature, even farming, talk about cattle and sheep, all this, there was a kind of a circle that was happening. Unfortunately for us, because we follow the Western history where we have to actually take action in the NEP also. I was invited for a talk. I hope I'll be allowed to make there, where these nature related things have to be introduced as a main course, as part of their learning right from beginning, right from kindergarten, what we call as LKG and pre-primary, more than making them say words like A, B, C, D or 1, 2, 3, 4 and only the alphabet. Maybe they should be made acquainted with nature and the living things that are around, how you can manage. I remember I come from a family where my Aji, as you call, she used to make it a ritual. We had this disciplined way of life where you wake up before the sun rises, you're awake and alert during the sunrise so that you enjoy the rays of the sun. You're supposed to open your eyes to sunlight, open the door and see the early morning rays, which is good again for the eyes and as well as the brain and the health. Okay. And then you do not do anything without cleansing yourself. Self-hygiene is very, very important. This is how we were brought up and this is what we see. And after that, maybe we do pray like all others, the Tulsi Mata. We do give it the water and we pray to the sun god for blessing on all of us. And then Mayaji taught us to drop a little of the rice flour to the corner-like place for the ants. See, our society is such that we were concerned about even little ants. We thought about everybody. Coexistence is the mantra of the people of India. And I'm sure that is how we were brought up. The leftover food was never thrown. If it is carefully preserved, maybe used for the farming animals. Andhra is known for a very famous food, which is called, they call it Ulavacharu. This is made of the horse gram. People eat only they boil it and compress it and take the juice. It's very, 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 very good for the health, builds strong muscle, keeps you alert. It's full of vitamins and strength. And then the rest of it is never thrown. It is given, it is fed to the animals and it is what they need also. So we did not find much of this health hazard of all this, how to take care of waste, how to take care of this problem, where to dump it. Why did we not have this problem? We never had plastics. We had our own way of living. Okay, coming to was asked by me a little about Andhra Pradesh is a southeastern coastal state. You have a very long coast, not as long as maybe Gujarat, but yes, definitely a very long coast. A little less than Maharashtra, but yes. And then, as I told you earlier, it is known as the rice bowl of India because mainly that is what the, sorry, I'll just try and, I'm trying to put it in the presentation mode. Yeah, we have the two great rivers which actually start from Maharashtra, interestingly, both Godavari and Krishna as well. And we have the Kumbh Mela, we call it the Pushkaras, celebrated once in 12 years. And we have two consecutive year celebrations, one with the River Krishna, this one is River Krishna, and this is the Godavari. Now recently, with the intention to provide water to the southern state, which is again Tamil Nadu, and provide more water to one of our areas, which is inland area, Rayalaseema, which is a part of the Krishnadevaraya kingdom, which was erstwhile. Hampi is part of it, which is in Karnataka. It's a very dry area, very highland area. They do not have water. So to provide that in the planning of the rivers, the Godavari is also joined with Krishna, and from there it moves to other places, making them green, improving vegetation and providing employment to the people rather than turning into nomads or going around for work, laborers, and getting into unnecessary things. And the other largest river that we have, of course, the largest river is, of course, as you know, is Godavari. And we have a small part of Tungabhadra also joining in here. So it's totally with, that's the reason why Andhra is green. And in fact, when they moved away, this is what you find everywhere. This is, of course, a picture of Arco Valley. We have our hills. I am from a place, Vijayawada, which is actually a valley city surrounded by all hills. And on the one side, I have Krishna, and the canals that go to all the neighboring villages also, the suburbs and the other areas of the districts. So it is like we call it as the Vijayawada and the neighboring place, Tenali, we call it as the Venice of the East, because it has all kinds of canals everywhere spread around. And earlier, when the infrastructure was not as so good, I remember in my school, to go from one place to another, we would pay 2 NP. I don't know how many of you are aware of 2 NP, 2 paise and 3 paise to travel in the boat to go to the other river across. And we had fun doing that too. This is Arco Valley, which is in the Godavari district towards Vijayanagaram, and known for its caves and wonderful greenery. Then we have down south in the Chittor district, we have Horsley Hills. This is also another beautiful area, and it is in Madanapalli, near Madanapalli. And this is where you have Jiddu Krishnamurti Foundation schools, which actually provide the best of the education to the students there in and around. That is one of the schools that has insisted right from beginning on nature, working with nature and things of this sort. I know that there is one in Maharashtra also, the Jiddu Krishnamurti Foundation schools flourish there too. This is one of the other beautiful places where you can just go and enjoy the silence and the peace. Even to this day, this place is still calm and quiet, rid of all pollution, rid of all noise. They still respect the place in the same way, and the local deities are no other but the nature. If you have seen, like all other parts of India, our basis of our culture or our religion is nature, not one god or one figure or an idol. The concept of even a god or anybody is only, since we cannot understand what is life or what is food is so important for us. I'm sure many of us still close our eyes for a moment and pray to God for the meal that we have on our table or on our plate. And that is what we pray as Ma Annapurna. This is what we do also. Is it that we have an idol of one lady sitting there with a spoon and giving food, or an idol there? No, it's not that. The very concept, the prayers, I'm talking about one of the religions of Hindu religions, of course. We do pray because we respect what the nature has given. If not for the mother nature, we wouldn't be left with anything there. So yes, this is one of the things that they do pray to the river there. This is one of the tributaries of Tungabhadra. They do pray to that every time, Gandaki, they call it. And every year there are 3-4 fests for this. And you find it is still beautiful. They don't destroy it. This is, of course, Nallamala Hills. I was trying to locate and get the picture of the Nallamala Hills, but it's very rich. And we had this great Buddha guru, a Buddhist monk, Nagarjuna, who challenged people to find, he challenged his disciples to find and see if there is even one little plant or a herb or a sapling which is useless to the people, especially in the field of medicine. This Nallamala forests are known for their rich medicinal value plants. That's why there are many sanctuaries there. And whenever, the elderly people used to say there is a practice even in the older days also, whenever somebody is disturbed, so many things, all of us have problems. The beauty of life is problems because they help you, they teach you to become a better person, they teach you to be stronger. See, when you have to climb something, it's a challenge, it gets you anxious. But once you climb, you feel very happy, and the rejoicement that you get is so good that it will help you to scale the next one. So problems come to us because they want us to find out our own strengths and be better persons. Nature also does that. It provides problems to make you realize to find our own strengths. And the other time that nature hurts us is when we over-exploit it. It teaches a lesson the hard way. So yes, the Nallamala forest is what is very rich. It's spread over 3 to 4 districts. And You cannot go through that. There's not even one plant, one tree that is useless in terms of medicine. Forget about the other uses. So yes, we are rich with that. And when people are disturbed, they are advised to go to the Nalamala forest. There are some, of course, religious places. Then I was exploring and I came to know when I was researching a little more why people go to these places. It's not just that there is a God there, but the kind of climate and the kind of environment, the natural energies that are generated there calms the mind down. And that is the place called Sri Shailam, which is Mallikarjuna Swami temple there. It is one of the Dwadasha Jyotirlingas, which is there in Andhra Pradesh. So that is a beautiful place. And you stay overnight, even to this time, there's absolutely no pollution. Only pollution that comes is from the people who move, and still it calms everyone down. So we have those Nalamala forests. And surprisingly, most people, even in Andhra Pradesh, do not know this. It is called Lambasingi. It is known as the Kashmir of Andhra Pradesh. It is the coolest place. There is also snowfall in that place. When I was telling this to my children, of course, I was caught up in teaching and taking care of these things. And you never took us to Lambasingi. And most people do not know. These days, it has become fashionable to travel to Europe and travel to other places. I have nothing against them. We need to know universe is the same, earth is the same, wherever you are. But we need to know the strengths of our places. I've never seen many people knowing this. I make it a point to tell to my class students also, have you been to Kashmir? We all, thankfully, we are able to go to Kashmir. Not all of us can go, but we can go to the quiet place here. You can see the pictures here. There are children and students who, and in the summers, it's not as cool as maybe Kashmir, but then yeah, in winters, but still there is snow, and in summers it's bearably so. So this is also one of the wonderful places in Andhra Pradesh, less known, less explored, less exploited too. So you should make it a point to go to this place. Very easy to reach the place and you can stay over. But there, fortunately, now they are changing. I don't know whether it is good or bad. As a nature enthusiast, I feel upset when you have this whole lot of holiday resorts and a lot of plastic that comes in. I'm very upset with that. But then here is a place that can give you a beautiful respite from all the troubles and travels and travails that we have in our everyday urban lives and everyday lives. Papi Kondalu Hills is another one through which this is the river Godavari, which goes through that. And it is known for its depths. And it is known also as the Ratnagarbha because there is still unexplored treasures in that. There have been many people who made attempts to try and excavate all those treasures, the valuable stones and everything there, but they failed. And when I've been to this place, the boat ride was so beautiful. You have to bow down your head in respect to nature. We have to remember it is Mother Nature that is allowing us to continue with our lives, allowing us to exploit it, allowing us to use it. So it's our duty, just like how we have our parents, we take care of parents, we also have to take care of this mother who is there providing to us, stands tall and strong, always allowing us to play mischief. We pull her, we dig her, we kill her, still she doesn't say anything except when she finds that we are hurting, we're going to hurt ourselves. Then there is this place, Gandikota, which is very famous again. A part of Krishna, the tributary of Krishna, Tungabhadra, flows through that. And this is known as a very part of a great empire, which had many fights and everything, but it is the river that stopped them from moving forward. Known for its, again, rich vegetation and agriculture. Lepakshi temples. This is one of the greatest of the richest of the sites that you can visit in Andhra Pradesh. Lepakshi. You have a lot of handicrafts also in that area. And this is Rajamandri. The famous Rajamandri was something that is, the present name is coined by the Britishers, of course. Earlier it was the Rajamahendravaram or Rajamahendragiri. That is the capital of the Kondaviri Rajas. It is also a capital state, and it is on the banks of the river Godavari, known for its. And this is, of course, the part of the Amravati, the still controversial capital of Andhra Pradesh, the newly developed one. This is the reason why it went Amravati is the area there is known as Amravati. The Danishkoti, which was the capital of the Shatavahanas, turned into a small town, now remained a small town because people have moved to Hyderabad. Now when we split from Telangana, we came back and we wanted to bring back that old capital again. And Amravati, because not because of the Amareshwar, the Shiva temple there, it is also the hub of the Buddhism activity there. You have plenty of Buddhist caves, Buddhist monks, and it is known that Buddha had resided there for some time. Like I was telling you about earlier about Nagarjuna, he was a monk and also a nature lover. He spent all his life with all his disciples exploring the Nalamala hills and jotting down all the data of the utility of each and every leaf, every plant and its uses. So that is the richness of the place. So that's why the new capital is also called that. And then, of course, I hope some of you recognize this place at least. It is a very famous, world famous Tirupati, or Tirupati is the base level city, and Tirumala is on the 7 hills. Tirumala Balaji we call him, or down here we call him Venkateshwar Swami. Okay, and his 2 consorts, Alumelumanga and Padmavati, are in the Tirupati city. This is the famous Tirumala temple built. It has 7 hills around it. Once again, very rich in vegetation and very rich in the red sandalwood also. The greed of man is also intruding into the God's place. If you notice, where there is a strong, a thick forest, or, a lot of medicinal value plants or vegetation or nature or beautiful river resources, etc., you have a pilgrimage center there. This is not about the God. This is how the elders in the ancient ages try to preserve the place, making them realize it is a holy place. Do not harm the nature around so that they will preserve it. This is how I read it, rather than, seeing it as a place to only, get your wishes fulfilled. And people give their hair, their clothes, their, when you are in serious dire troubles and all, they pray to God, and in return, they give away all their gold. Oh, no, it's not that. I feel, look at Sri Shailam, look at Amravati, look at even Arco, you have the gods there. The Surya Mandir in, we have not only in the Konark temple, we have the Vedadri temple beside. Every temple which is there, temple is not just a place of worship. It's a place where they ensured that the nature around is saved, because people are scared of the wrath of gods. So they don't harm the lands around it, because everybody says this is the God, the God will be moving around in these trees and forests. So they won't, definitely they'll be careful. They don't want to anger the gods. See what a way we had, what a beautiful way we had, the Indian way to ensure that people don't become too greedy and ensure that there is a lot of natural facilities. Because as a young girl, I used to wonder whenever I'm taken to places of worship, I always wondered, why is it that we have so many, places to worship, always a temple, always a temple. Of course, we do go to other places. Then it was my, like I was telling my grandma who told me, it's not about the gods, it's about the nature. It's about getting the breath of that particular trees, which will help cleanse your own health. It will invigorate you. That is the kind of system we have come from. And that's why they say every year you visit one, go on pilgrimages to get in all those energies from those plants and trees and the altitudes and the atmosphere there. Yeah, this is the Sri Shailam which I was talking about, the beautiful place. Interestingly, in one of my trips to Sri Shailam, which is where in the Nalamala Hills actually, we found that one day there was no power when there was a lot of things going on. In the natural lights, the place looked even more ethereal. It had much more calm instead of all the noise. And why I put the dam there on the River Krishna was that is a mud dam constructed by the best of the civil engineers, K.L. Rao, known for his brains. And he is the reason why Andhra Pradesh is so very fertile even to this day. This dam, in the recent earthquake and high floods, they thought it would topple, but the other ones which were built later got lost, but this dam remains strong and steady. Not even a bit of cement, concrete. It is totally a mud dam, built out of mud dam. He believed in that. K.L. Rao believed in that. So that is the greatness of the dam. One should visit it, and it generates a lot of hydroelectric power. This is the river and the dam. The waters are shared, and even the power generating energy is shared by both Andhra Pradesh as well as even the present Telangana. Yeah, this is, of course, you might have heard Visakhapatnam, the hub of the Navy Center in Andhra Pradesh, totally under there. It has a the DRDO center. There is actually a research organization working on the building of turbines. And as we all know, we should leave it in their place. Let them do their job. We don't have to air it to everyone. And they do brilliant work there. It is totally under them. It is a natural harbor and rich in its. This is one of the places which was not hit by tsunami. But recently we had the Hutu cyclone, which has washed away the whole city. But people have revived. They also follow. Earlier we had this policy of having the skyscrapers, white size skyscrapers, but you know, we are humans. We always love to exploit as much as possible, and we are still continuing to do so. We don't know why the government also leans in and gives in to them. This is one place why I wanted you people to know is well connected. The people are very quiet. On the one side, you see a lot of urban kind of life. Now it is slowly being modernized. Modernized, I don't know, I can't modernize. I'll say it is westernized, where you have people think it is fashionable to hold a Coke, have a Coke drink, but dump it unnecessarily. Unfortunately, that is not modernization. That is actually we are being more uncivilized. You have that part of it. On the one part of it, you have the fisheries, the fishermen, and the way they pray to the sea before they go into the journey. They take care of the sea better than all others. We find their children are engaged in cleaning up whatever comes there from the waves. They do it too. They are not learned people. They did not do their research, but it is the concern which comes from their families and going. The wildlife sanctuary, there have been many here, which have been the Ulavacharu Wildlife Sanctuaries, the Koringa Wildlife Sanctuary, the Kaundinya Wildlife Sanctuary, Raila Elephant Reserves. We have Koleru Bird Sanctuary, which is known as, we have the Chilka Lakes, where the birds come from all the way from Serbia, And we have the rarest of them, which we still continue. It's a small village. Even now, the villagers, I have to respect them because they don't allow too much of westernization to happen. They want people to see and leave. Because once you stay and you have resorts, automatically things are going down the drain. They're still continuing the same. Koleru Bird Lake or even the Chilka Lake that we call as such. They're there, they don't allow, there are no resorts as of now. They're not allowing it even now. We have a lot of backwater areas and resorts where you can stay for a few days and you'll get the best of the foods also there. The sacred trees, like any other place, are the neem tree, which is sprayed everywhere. And if you like, you might have been told by others also, that's again why it is sacred. Because the reason is, if you look at it, the culture or the religion, as we call, many people like to call, it's not Hindu, it is a natural religion, I call it, because neem is so good for health. I remember last year during these days, I was down with Delta corona of the Delta mutant. The only thing that kept me alive was sitting on the balcony with the neem tree. I used to do my pranayam there. My breath went down to 68 also. I did not get anxious. I thought nature is there to take care, whether it takes or it keeps me. It's a journey decided by that. So yes, that is the greatness of neem tree. Maybe people may not realize. If we explain, we'll think, okay, when it's there, it's there. So rather, if you say, it is good to have, it will give you Lakshmi. Lakshmi is nothing but our health. And that's why we pray to them. It's not that Indians are mad because they put some saffron and some turmeric. It's because they need to respect the nature which keeps us alive. And the sacred fig here, we call it Ravi. It's something like the peepal tree. That is the reason why it is also prayed. Of course, we have that, a combination of neem and Ravi. It is said to be even more holier because Ravi continuously generates oxygen round the clock, 24/7. So that is the reason why it is even more holier. And if the Ravi tree is there, they also threat you by saying that you should not have any houses near it. There are gods living on them. I wondered why, what is this rule? How come gods sit in the tree? Then slowly I understood the sacred fig, as we call, spreads its roots to 2 kilometers underground. It tends to topple the constructions around it. So people in their own greed may cut down the roots. And this is the source of oxygen for around, you can say, about 50 to 60 families. Oxygen it can provide one single tree. So they rather keep it alive. So they say, you should not have any constructions. It is bad luck to you. We are not superstitious. We are nature lovers. So respect. It's not superstition. Let us look at it. There's science behind every little thing that our elders have said, and we follow this. We always follow this, and it keeps us alive. So this sacred tree, usually fig, it's almost like people. We call it the Ravi Chettu, we call it. And then there is the Indian gooseberry. We call it Usirkaya. This is also known. They call it as a Deva Vruksh. They call them as Deva Vruksh. That means, gooseberry is the source of vitamin C. It's said already that every day you take one peel of gooseberry dipped in honey or something. It keeps you in good health always. And that is the reason why it usually comes around the season of October, November, December. This is the season of that tree. And in those month of Kartik, we call it actually, Shiva is prayed a lot. And this tree is what everybody makes. They make what you call the seasoned rice with this. We have chutneys, we have all this, and they respect this. They pray to this tree. They pray even to the fruit. It is the raw one actually. We call it Usirkaya, the gooseberry, the Indian gooseberry, green one that you might have seen. Sorry, I could have put those pictures also as doing 3-4 things. I'm sorry, I'll modify that and send it to you maybe. So these are the trees that we do. And why I put mango leaves. Mango is another tree that every household has almost. Now it is dying because with the rising, houses in the air, apartments and flats, nobody wants. Once again, the same reason. Usually the roots of mango tree run to 1.5 kilometers. So nobody wants that because it will topple your building. It can topple even the well-laid concrete foundations of the strongest of the buildings, or it will die if you cut its roots. So that's the reason why they say you keep it separate. And why mango leaves? I'm sure even you in your part of India also, you do the same. Whenever there is a celebration, whenever there is a reason for people to gather, we always have these mango leaves in the doorways. The reason for that, it's not one leaf. Nowadays, of course, with the Chinese ideas, we have the plastic leaves but we need the leaves, the twigs put there, because even after you pluck the mango twig, it still gives oxygen. It keeps the room fresh. That's why it withers after some time. If it is too many people, it withers away midday itself. So look at that. mango leaves. They are also very sacred. That's why at every prayer, you have the ravi leaves and the mango leaves always used, because they'll keep the place not beautiful, not only beautiful, but they'll keep it alive and for you to continue also. The hygiene and environment, of course, like I said, I remember in my village, the house that we have there with our grandparents, though it is very old, I could not go there to take the pic. I would have loved to show you how they recycle the water that is used. I didn't realize until later this was a healthy habit. In the modern ways, so-called modern ways, there's a lot of wastage of water. We are misusing it like all other places, but the government here is also taking up the recycling of water, which even in our college we have done that. All the wastewater is used to flush the toilets and other places. We don't use fresh water there at all. Only the recycled water is used for that purpose. And it's insisting in the common places to made it a mandate so that we reduce on the water resources that we waste there. And again, we also use the natural way of soaps. You have these soap nuts. I don't know what you call them in the Hindi language. You actually crack them and boil in water. Shikakai, like shikakai. Shikakai is longer one. This is like more like a fruit, rather rounded one. And this is what people use to wash their hair also. And the grub of it is dried and powdered and used it as a manure to drive away the pests for the plants. That is how we recycle. We never had anything to prove. But now with all the hygienic things, cleaners, cleansers, Lysols and Dominics, phenyl and all, they kill all the necessary bacteria that eat away, which is required also. Some of the grub which they need to eat away all those. We kill them also in our rush to being clean, which is not so. It leaves it more dusty too. Okay. So these are some of the practices I'm talking about common people doing. And we do have the recycling part, like in most of the houses in villages, they're doing it. In cities, like in all other places, everywhere, we don't bother about it. We don't want any dirty water. But in the villages, even to this day, I'm sorry, that's what I'll get the picture and put it there. Most of the houses, even to this day, the kitchen is where most of the water is used. And, cleaning the utensils, or, you wash your vegetables and cooked extra waters, extra. When you cook rice also, the extra, the top layer of the water is removed as starch as such. All this has a kind of a drain which goes out. And there, that is what is the kitchen garden, which leads to the banana trees or the plantain trees. And also you have these yam and all, which need continuous water. You have a lot of fresh vegetables right there. You just have to go out, pick those and come and cook. This is how the circulation is happening. A part of it where the precipitants are retained, the fresh waters move away to other areas where there are flowers. This is a wonderful thing that I have seen. And all the vegetable waste, I remember even to this day, they practice it. Now nobody is staying. Until I was 20 or 25 also, they were still continuing. Nobody is staying there. But when we go, we practice the same. We had a pit there. This is what I find in most of the villages, in the neighborhood of our villages also, where my own grannies were there. They had this pit where they dump all the vegetable waste, close it and compost. Now we have the names. And then I used to ask, why do you do this? We don't waste anything. What comes from nature should go back to nature, or we should utilize it. Don't dump it anywhere. They never would put any dirt in the water at all, even to take a bath in the river. Like I was telling you, we have Krishna and Godavari. We have our melas, what we call once in 12 years. We celebrate the Pushkara for 12 days. You have people coming from everywhere to these two places. But nowadays, I don't know how people are practicing, but we come from a place where we have told whether you go into the sea or whether you go into the river, you cannot go as you wake up and go. You clean yourself at home, go there, take a dip, come back and clean again. What a clean system we had, hygienic system we had. And now when I go to the river, I'm not going for the last time when there were pushkaras, I didn't go because I felt sad. People were sitting with soaps and rubbing and scrubbing, washing their clothes. It was never that. Those 12 days were meant for you to realize that it is very holy. You do all your prayers there. You recall your parents or your elders who are not, the elders who have passed away, the people are there. You're meant to look at it as holy, not getting rid of your dirt. So these are the old practices. I don't know, we are making efforts to make them realize. And it's nice to know the present school children are actually learning this. And I have to appreciate the efforts of this. This is how it goes. But yeah, traditionally, the cleanliness is maintained. Like I said, we have very many canals. Until recently, not much awareness were there. Like you pick your dirt and dump it into the nearest river or nearest canal. But now the government has taken steps to, raise structure beside especially the bridge area. Whenever there is a flyover bridge, on either side, they have raised the mesh levels so that people cannot dump anything into the canal. One way of ensuring. And the banks of the rivers, I couldn't add that picture also. I'll do it too. Could not actually, get into the rivers because on either side there's a lot of greenery now. There's a lot of greenery and it is cordoned off. That is, they built some fence. Nobody can go in there. Earlier, you had this, fortification around the banks of rivers, which was not there when we were young. In the middle, it happened. But now they have taken care of the fortification there that is happening. So it is full of green. Nobody can go there. On the other side, it's a very pleasant sight. It makes you feel very good. My college starts around 7 o'clock in the morning. So I have to leave home by 6:15 or 6:30. So when I pass through the lane, it's so beautiful. I have to stop for a moment, though I'm in a hurry, because I enjoy that early morning rays and the beautiful greenery, either side of 3 canals that I cross on my way to college. And it's about 12 to 15 kilometers. So yeah, the government is taking such care too. And it is trying to reserve the forest. Again, there was a controversy. One of the things that is taken up, while the Amravati area is a agricultural land, there are forests in another area closer by. Many people contended that the forest could have been removed. But the erstwhile government decided forests are necessary. They should be retained. And it is agriculture we started step farming and those things also on the way because we are surrounded by many hills. We are rich in the hills. So they started that. And there are many other means that are doing too. And in places like Srisailam and Tirupati, or even here also, what they have started as municipality has started is the municipal authorities, the local government authorities, that under the Swachhata mission, they are actually distributing many plants to everyone. And in our own lane also, we have these youngsters who have become the green invigilators, they call themselves, young guys, who see that, who caution if somebody drops there, they call them and say, you have dropped something there, please pick it up. So that's a good initiative. When it comes from the young, we know the next generation will continue it. So these are the things that is doing. And the hygiene problem, again, in the slum areas also, of course, with the recent facilities being given by the central government and the ruling, we are ensuring there is proper drain water and the toilets that are there. It's a mandate, you cannot. And if they do not build, they lock it up these days. So the common or open door defecation is avoided completely. Because recently also we saw a mishap for the girl who went out. The family was rigid about having these things, went out and she was harassed. So this is a mandate too. This government is following, and they have many more measures. Like I think Andhra Pradesh is the first one about 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And I'm proud to say Vijayawada city is the first one to have things like, collecting the waste. They used to collect from way back 10, 15 years ago. You had these municipal workers collecting the green and the wet and dry waste separately, right from the the citizens here. We keep them ready and they come and collect and we take it back. So that facility started some 15 years ago here and it is continuing. Now they have segregated further the health facilities also. So they are doing their bit, and there are plenty of recycling plants that have come up to recycle waste and to recycle even the wet waste as well as dry waste. So these measures are being taken up. The many engineering colleges that are there are many startups, and this is generating a lot of work also for the people around. This is one more great initiative that I was talking about, Clean Andhra Pradesh program, CLAP. This is one of the initiative inspired the present government is taking up. It's actually continuing, like what I said. Earlier we used to have our own bins. Now as part of this, every lane, every place is provided with wet and dry bins. And these bins, you can see the figures, 1.2 crore bins are provided to 124 municipalities. Every household registers itself for this program, and we are given the bins to carry them separately and feed them. And it's a better place now. We can leave it there and they'll collect it. It's a better place now. When we do excess of wastage, they do check the need. When we have extra, you may have a function, you may have a get together, you may have a common program, a celebration. There may be friends and festivals coming in. You may have extra waste there. You have to inform them a bit more so that they will come prepared to pick up that also. The vehicles keep coming. The garbage collection has increased, unlike earlier, which was dumped by the rivers or in the common open lands. It has increased from 22 to 60%. That is an effort that AP has done, and they received awards in this context also. 50 to 60% of the wet waste collected is treated by biodegradation. There are huge centers that do it. We have, in fact, the Raddiwala shops more. They collect it, and there is a kind of, like how you have your lunch box, your the Mumbai, this thing, the same way you have the Radhi pickup centers here. They collect it phase-wise and they recycle them, and beautiful things, the matter that is collected, the raw material is being sent. It's used for cloth and paper also. They haven't come out with the paper plant. They use it for packaging. There are a lot of packaging materials that are made out of this. 35 to 38 dry waste is recycled and rest is sent to the cement factories. You have the fly ash bricks which are being used more, and the houses that are constructed using fly ash bricks, which reduces the pollution and saves the nature. They are given extra facilities and extra funds also, appreciation too. If you have seen in the video that I gave you about our college, I showed you how we use the windmills and the solar panels also. And the library building is totally a green building. We don't have any ACs there. It's a naturally cool place. Of course, for some of the visitors, we have fans, of course. All the fans that are used in our university are solar run fans. And vehicles, we all go in vehicles, of course, because it is quite far from the place. It's in the suburb area. But the management doesn't allow you to take the vehicle inside to all the blocks. The parking is quite away. At the opening, you have to walk. The elderly people, we have only electric run cars there to move between the buildings, and they encourage us to walk. Only those who cannot walk, the students or parents or faculty who have problems, they will be given the facility, and visitors, of course, because they wouldn't know what the places are. Other than that, people are encouraged to walk and all. And another thing, though it is not mentioned, the WTE project, you can see the kind of work they're doing, the municipalities are doing, collecting it. Now they are working on with the colleges, with the engineering colleges and other local bodies, how and what can be done to it. And this is what is happening, converting them into energy. This is going on a large way. They're working around it. Part of our own college groups are also into this. One of the research wing is also part of this, this thing. So they're still working on it, how to generate this and make it more efficient, more reachable also. So probably as of now, it was supposed to be ready by November. It got delayed with 2-year break, but soon it will take another year. The lapse of 2 years, I think we'll have to wait for this. This is the remaining of the Andhra Pradesh that we have. I hope I'm not taking too much of your time. Once I start, I think you should stop me actually. Yeah, the quantity of what we use from the kind of power and from the waste is what we have now. Earlier it was, Andhra was only 13 districts, but now we have about 29 districts, making it easier for the authorities also to monitor and make it more clean. I hope I'm not, yeah. This is one thing that I wanted to share with you. The C&D waste construction, we call it. The C&D waste generators and how the collection and disposal by the developer is taken to the landfill site, the sites where the filling is required when you're raising it. The landfilling, why do we require it? Because this is a delta region. You don't have problem of water. Fortunately, thank God for that. Thank nature for that. The water is available at very low levels, say 80 feet. Sometimes it is around our college, it is about 50 feet, 30 feet also. So when you want to construct something solid, you need to fill the land. So this is the waste that they fill in there so that it will actually go back to it. Then there's also the hard over to private transporter. They sell it, where they again tend to change it to. And then you have the illegal disposal by generators that is done illegal. This is a lot of action and a lot of planning is being done to that. And then these people from anywhere in the city, roads and drains, canals especially, they collect all the waste from there and they take it to these collection disposal by developer. They curate it and make it feasible for it to be sent as landfill. So that we can, when we are constructing the roads, laying down roads or trying to raise the place, they need all these things too. Okay. The fringe areas of the outskirts also, this is what sometimes from the fringe areas through illegal disposal mechanism, which is not part of the government organization, they do it too, and they send it to the land disposal sometimes. This is the existing system. And this is the new system, how this was the earlier one. They're using it this way. Now you have monitoring agencies that are looking at it, the urban local bodies, which work on the requirements of this. How this waste is generated, how it is transported also. I don't know if it can be understood. The individual generators, the bulk generators like hospitals, it could be even the markets. See, in our state, we have this system of Raitu Bazaar, we call it. Raitu meaning the farmer. They can come and directly sell their products. But sometimes what happens is all the remains and all in bulk, it gets stored. So such bulk waste also is collected, and the government organizations, wherever you have these centers, they collected all these and then they designated to the points, and from there they carry it to waste processing plants by the developers. Everything that is a waste is processed here, and the waste is processed here, and that is how the ULBs also, through the ULBs, they send it to the waste processing, and this then is utilized for different works. Sometimes filling, they are working on it, trying to replace it in the cement too. I don't know if the industries will allow it, but they're working on that too. This is the new system which is in place, which when really works well, it helps a lot. Sorry. At schools, like what we do at schools, I think I could not add there to that. But yeah, this is where we'd stop. At schools, of course, as part of the various measures that are taken, every school has, I don't know, we had it earlier in between somewhere. We lost it in a rush to get high scores and all. But like in the olden days, now every school going kid has one day which is spent on nature and community services and nature services, environment preservation. So they have their yards where they can plant trees, they clear them, they water them, they do activities related to that. They're allowed to grow things and they're allowed to work on recycling waste. All these aspects they do take care. They visit homes of the villages or the towns, wherever they are, and check and try to educate them, so that when you hear from a little kid saying all these things also is beautiful. Then also they do NSS work. They don't call it NSS at school level, societal work. SPW is what we had earlier. The same thing is being done. It is made a mandate now that students should be involved. For example, in our university, we have the CEA activities. We call as community extension activities. So every program, like I'm with the English department, my students and scholars, they go and educate or try to empower students in the language of English. We have the local regional language schools, and now they are converted, but we make them more confident in speaking in English, and how to speak and how to write, we tell them. Similarly, the mechanical engineering department of our university, one of the students, mind you, he did not complete his course. He had 13 backlogs, but he came out with a drone, the first of the drones of India, where it is used to drop the seeds in the land, the agricultural land, and spill the fertilizers also. So that his only motivation was, he saw his he knows his grandfather, his family is into agriculture. His grandfather was his favorite, and he has lost his grandfather because the grandfather was going in the fields with the fertilizers, and he was bitten by a snake and he died. So he wanted them to utilize the technology, and he gave this, and he was awarded by the central government also for this, and he is put on the skilling program also for this. Now the boy had 10 backlogs, but he was able to give a lot more. Based on this, he was recommended by AST to be waived off and be given a degree, in fact. So this is the kind of work that is being done. The initiative has to come from the heart of the people, the heart of the student. It is not somebody telling you. We respond. Don't you find it beautiful when you see greenery rather than houses and windows and other people's doors? A tree makes a lot of difference, isn't it? A beautiful nature makes a lot of difference. And when you open your window and you see these lovely trees and then the rising sun or the moon and the sky, you feel so happy. You feel so beautiful being part of something. It's like a mother holding you together. But when you see the clutter of the buildings and clutter of houses, each one living on top of the other, it hurts. It hurts. I know, I understand that housing is a necessity, but we have to plan them in a different way. There is also one center with the help of the nature lovers. They are coming out with red sand and clay bricks again. Bricks are made out of clay, more clay structures like how we had in the olden days, to bring that into our destination. And I was asked to tell a little about the cookery. Earlier, we were using the rock made of steel and everything. Earlier, it was again the same pottery that we use like any part of India. It is done away with, and we have come to steel and aluminum and glassware and ovens. But now again, people are going back to the pottery, earthenware again. Good for them and good for all of us. Let's retain the old system and go back to the old beautiful ways of health and hygiene. I remember in our own place, most of the families around us, we did not have a problem. We did go through the mild attack because I was working with number of other people. It was quite common when we are engaged with other colleagues and people coming from different places. I notice, even now I notice, earlier also it is a practice, we have a tap outside the home. We wash our feet, we wash our hand, we wash our face and enter the house, and then bathe and change clothes, and you are supposed to wash it and then go back to the things. So this is how we were doing things, and this is how we continue to do. And I don't know why we have changed. Maybe this COVID has taught us the beauty of what we have, and to retain it, to reiterate it. I remember when we were young, my brother and I and my sister, all of us had to wash the vessels again, dry them. And even the vegetables which we buy, we were supposed to wash it, dry them, and you keep it separate. So we had a beautiful system. Respect nature, it will respect you. It will love you more. It gives you more, 1,000 times more, a lot of times more. So I cannot say about other countries, but I'm sure the places that I visited, it's the same. See, the celebrations that we have, you celebrate spring as holy. We celebrate spring as holy. Spring is, again, life to trees. After the dry spell of losing the leaf, fresh life. Every new year starts with the spring, isn't it? All over India, the new years commence with spring. That is, we are talking about, we know that everything is cyclic and it comes, a new beginning is a new year. That is what we do. We don't start like a Jan or something. There is a meaning in everything that we do, right? And then look at the festival that we have. We have Shankranti. People call it Lodi. It is nothing but the celebration of the crop that you get. You share it with everyone. You have families coming together. There is the Pongal. We call, in Tamil Nadu, they call it Pongal. In Andhra, we call it Shankranti. What do? One day is to the sun god, because he has been there helpful, and it's a thanksgiving to him. And the next day is, of course, to recall all your elderly people, the forefathers who are not there with you, share and thank them on the day, and have people recalling all the good things about them. And the third day, surprisingly, is for the animals. The third day, we call it as the Kanuma. We call it in Andhra. That day is completely for the animals and all the tools that help you in the farming. You pray them, you wash them, you clean them, you make them happy, you celebrate them. What a way to give it back to nature and respect. Why did we give up all this? We should actually keep celebrating this. And every festival, I found that the mother plays a key role, and we always start the day with the mother. We are angry with her sometimes. We are happy with her. We are upset with her, but she is there every day. You can't think of thinking of mother only on a Mother's Day, isn't it? So the culture and nature go together. This is what I understood from my learning. And the madam was saying she read Shashi Deshpande's work. What I understood from there is, it is the women who were telling them how to retain the festivals to be celebrated, the kind of natural process that goes on. Every festival day, you give it to your animals. Every month, we have one festival to celebrate some change, the natural changes only. We are totally, our lifestyle is, correlated with, interwoven with nature. Why are we giving up that? Little children that you are, students that you are, revive that back. Understand there is a science. Maybe they did not want you to waste time on thinking over this, but every one of them had a meaning. The early morning, you wake up at 10 o'clock or wake up at 8 o'clock because the West do it. The West do it, it is not modernization. The West wake up early morning is 7 for them because it's a cold place. They cannot work more. But for us, we are fortunate where we have the health being given by the sun god. We are at a juncture of latitude and longitude where you can enjoy the best of the climate, the best of the health, and the best of the natural resources that we have. We have the best fruits, we have the best vegetation, we have the best farming things, that agricultural products. Every state has its own best things. Let's go by that and live by that. thank you is, I hope I haven't overstepped my time. Sir, sorry if I take an extra time.
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. बहुत ही विस्तार पूर्वक आपने विवेचन यहाँ रखा है और इतना अच्छा लग रहा था कि सुनते ही जाओ, आप इतनी सारी बातें कह रही थी, केवल आंध्र प्रदेश का वर्णन ही नहीं था इसमें, तो उसके साथ आपसे जुड़े कुछ विचार, कुछ वक्तव्य भी आप हमारे सामने पेश कर रही थी। बहुत ही अच्छा लगा और मुझे लगता है हमने यूट्यूब पे आपका लेक्चर यहाँ रखा है, अगले कई सदियों तक ये लेक्चर बच्चों के लिए उपलब्ध होगा और बहुत सारे बात आपने यहाँ पे कह दी। और आंध्र प्रदेश के बारे में तिरुपति जो कि ऐसा शहर है, ऐसा धार्मिक स्थल है, मुझे लगता है पूरे विश्व में सबसे ज्यादा वहाँ लोग धार्मिक रिलीजन्स की वजह से वहाँ आते हैं। आपने कहा कि वो चावल का कोठार उसे हम कहते हैं आंध्र प्रदेश को, कृष्णा रिवर और उसके बाद गोदावरी रिवर, और आंध्र प्रदेश और महाराष्ट्र जो दक्कन के बहुत सारे बड़े स्टेट है, उनका संबंध थोड़ा जैविक संबंध है। सातवाहन से लेकर चालुक्य तक, राष्ट्रकूट तक, ये सब विस्तार है, शाखा विस्तार ये दोनों स्टेट में यहाँ तक हुआ है। आप यहाँ आई, आपका मैं तहे दिल से नेचर स्कूल की तरफ से धन्यवाद कहता हूँ। मैम, हालांकि इंडिया के सब लोगों का खान पान पद्धति या वो वेशभूषा रहन सहन एक ही रहता है, लेकिन मुझे ये जानना चाहता हूँ मैं, हम ये जानना चाहते हैं कि आंध्र प्रदेश के पीपल अपने खाने के बारे में क्या जागरूकताएं रखते हैं, कि सुबह के नाश्ते में क्या रहता है, दोपहर के लंच में वो क्या क्या कौन सी सब्जियां वो खाना पसंद करते हैं, शाम को उनके डिनर में क्या क्या रहता है, इसके बारे में आप कुछ बातें बता सकते हैं तो बताइएगा।
Hello.
Yeah, for a few minutes there,
Yes.
I lost the connection.
Okay.
Could you repeat the question, please?
मैं ये कह रहा था कि आंध्र प्रदेश के लोग सुबह के नाश्ते में, दोपहर के लंच में और डिनर में कौन सी सब्जियां ज्यादातर खाना पसंद करते हैं, या उसका डेली ईटिंग कैसा रहता है प्रोसेस?
Sir, nashta as such in the modern days, it is idli dosa and the youngsters go for puff, vegetable puff and all. But traditional nashta, I couldn't put that. It is the working class, that is when you talk about the people who are in the agriculture, people who are going out for other vocational, the working class, they used to go for what we call as sankati, ragi sankati, rice sankati. Sankati is made by the starch of the jowar, what we call bajra and jowar, what we call. From that it is made. Raglu we call them, the different millets. And it is very healthy. They have it with buttermilk. Sometimes they have it also with just, sometimes it is cooked also. It is powdered and made. So it's very rich. A glass of it is good. And you have, of course, a set of people, especially in the summer period, a very natural cure and natural way of taking care of your health. It is very hot here. It is very hot and it gives you boils and rashes in summer. So one thing that people followed, I don't know how many of them are doing it, but I insist, even my children get it. They hated me, but now they got used to it. The rice that we cooked the previous night, we soak it in buttermilk, milk and buttermilk, and the next day you take it with, I was telling you, the Indian gooseberry, that pickle, that's supposed to keep you very cool throughout the day. This is the same thing which was being told for one of the healthy things for even Corona too. So this is what we practice. Early morning, we take that with fruit. And the most loved fruit here is mango. In summer season, it is the mango. We do get what you all get, Umayon and all these names. But apart from that, we have these, what we call one area nujweed. I couldn't show that picture. I'm sorry, I'll modify that maybe. Nujweed is one place where we are known for the juicy mangoes. You make the juice of it, it is known for it. You have the smaller version and larger version. You find that even ordinary people, when they come to the town or somewhere, when they go for their lunch, every restaurant, every hotel has the mango vendor. They buy one mango, go inside, have their food, and with the butter, the curd rice, they have the mango along with that. So morning times, this is what was done. And later, recently, of course, we have idli, the South Indian idli, the dosa, which is again made out of the green gram and what we call it as pesaratu, that's made of green gram and the same dal that we have. These are the standard ones that we make. Not much of chapati. Like how you have poha, we have what we call as upma. We have the upma where we have all the vegetables added. And we also have another version of poha. In my family, we were doing that because we are used to it. Even with sabdana, we make it. The ancestors from my family are from Maharashtra. Even my husband's family is from there. So it's kind of mingled up a bit with the local taste. I can't speak Marathi though. I understand.
You know, ma'am, Marathi. आपको मराठी समझ में आती है ना फिर?
थोड़ा बहुत सर, ज्यादा नहीं.
आप बोल भी सकते हैं, बोल भी सकते हैं. समझ आती है तो
हिंदी तो थोड़ा बहुत आता है. Sorry.
आप समझ सकते हैं, इसका मतलब आप आगे चल के बोल भी सकते हैं मराठी में.
थोड़ा बहुत, not much. I can't speak. But we have marriages within the Marathi family also. Yes. Most of our nieces and nephews and my cousins and
गौतमी पुत्र सातवान का आपने नाम लिया था, उनका ससुराल नासिक में है, महाराष्ट्र में.
Yes. वही तो. It's almost like the neighboring things. The states have been divided later. There were no boundaries as such. Karnataka, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh were almost like one most of the time. Yeah. So this is the staple early morning food. And in the afternoons, they prefer rice actually. Rice, dal bhi hoga. And then you have the curries. Shakam, you have curries like you have bendi, you have the usual curries and all that they have. Best of them is Andhra Pradesh known for gongura, they call it. Andhra Mata, they call it actually. And the brinjal is a favorite curries of theirs. And we also have a special dish for special occasions here. A curry made out of the jackfruit. The jackfruit inside, before it becoming the fruit, the raw one, it is cut and made into, it's called pansapottu, we call it pansapottu kura. It's very famous and very rich and high in minerals and vitamins especially. And then we also have this papaya. Papaya is made into a curry, not the fruit. The fruit version is eaten, but they make papaya curry. Even the banana, the plantain, the raw plantain, that also the raw plantain, artikaya we call it. Artipandu is the fruit, banana fruit. The plantain is the green one. You make it into curry. Before it can become into that, the kaya also, it's called the flower. The flower, every part of it is eaten. Every part of it is eaten. You make chutney, you make a lot of curry, and it is very good for women and young people who are growing also. That is a mandatory that they make it once in 10 days. Nowadays, nobody does it. It's all you order on a Swiggy and go. But please, everybody should go back to the old ways. It's so rich and beautiful. I'm now 55 going on 56, but I can walk. I can continuously take classes 6 hours at a stretch. I do my own work. We don't have too many of those people, maids and all. We do our own work. It's thanks to my parents and the food that they have given me, and not much of these. I don't say you shouldn't eat. You do taste. I do taste a pizza. I do things, but these are things. And in the evenings, typically in the earlier days, not much food was taken. They call it, you only have, in these days, they call it tiffin, a light food of a dosa, 2-3 dosas, maybe 2 dosas, and maybe some kind of, usually it was dosas or idlis earlier. Nowadays, they are taking rice also. And the present generation, though, you know it already, what they keep ordering. It's a real tough time. And with more and more of IT jobs, it seems as if it is fashionable to know how to order on the Swiggy and get it. And it's outdated to cook. But I love it. And fortunately, my sons also insist on it. And especially during festivals, you have the family gathering. So everybody comes out with one item and they all cook together and do it. And for celebrations, we have paisam, the porridge that we make. And that's mandatory. And we have pulihora, what we call as the tamarind rice, the rice mixed with the tamarind extract and seasoning. These are must things for us. And sweets, of course, if you are known about Tirumala, you will know laddu is the one that is, you have the motichur laddu. This is a slightly bigger one. The chur is a bigger one. So that is a mandate for all marriages. We have dal. The plain dal is a mandate. We say, when we go to somebody's house and we find that they're young and 20s, 25s and all, the first one, when are you going to give us pappannam means, when are you going to have your marriage? Pappannam is dal and annam is rice. That's a kind of a indication that when is your marriage. So when you're going to call everyone for that, it's a special. And of course, the Andhras are known for their pickles. Mango pickle, you have the usuri pickle. I was telling you about that gooseberry, that pickle. You name it, they make a pickle out of it. Cabbage also, they make a pickle. Lemon also, they make a pickles. They love their pickles. And I'm talking about the vegetarians. And the others, it's the chicken, which is a mandate for them. Chicken, mutton, all these things are mandate. And there was a practice, even in the villages, the elder generations are following even now. They follow this Chaturmasha thing. That is 4 months starting from Shravan, Ashad, Shravan Mas. 4 months, they do not take non-veg at all. I was wondering, this is a bad practice, superstition. But when I came to know later, in the later years, maybe when I was in the university, I came to know this is the healthiest way because of the changes of the climate, they do tend to play on your digestion. That's the reason why you get jaundice at this period when you eat too much. So that is the reason the system had this, where during the Chaturmash, you're not supposed to eat non-veg at all. This is the practice. You find that even among many of the North Indians from Bihar and other places, when they come down to our university, we have many of them, many people from different states working in the university. They're very particular. They don't want even the smell of that indoors. Then it made me happy also. So we eat very light in those periods. And that is a general practice. The food items, of course, you have plenty of sweets that are made. There's a Mysore pak. Andhra is not so rigid that we are going to do only this. They are, like I said, it was part of the kingdoms of Maharashtra. It was part of the kingdoms of the Nizam rule. It was part of the Chola rule. So I think that somewhere things got mixed up. It is a conglomeration of all cultures. Any other questions?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. आपको हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट है, आप इंग्लिश की केएल यूनिवर्सिटी में बहुत सारा आपका काम है, फिर भी आपने ये बहुत सारी पीपीटी बना दी, 1.5 घंटा आपने हमसे वार्तालाप की। हमारे बच्चे का सौभाग्य है कि आपसे बात हुई। आपका अंदर का टीचर जो बच्चों को कुछ बातें बता रहा था, वो मेरे ख्याल से उनके जहन में वो बातें गई होगी और ये ऐसा मुझे लगता है। बहुत मैम आपका बहुत मैं शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ कि आप यहाँ आई और ये बहुत सारी बातें कही। मुझे लगता है अगर मैं कुछ सवाल आपको पूछूं तो आप और 1.5 घंटा आप बोल सकते हैं, इतनी एनर्जी अपने पास है। कहा कि 56 ईयर है, लेकिन आपका स्माइली फेस ऐसा लगता है कि कुछ नौजवान को भी वो शर्मा दे जाए, ऐसे आप बात यहाँ पे बहुत सारी बातें यहाँ पे रखी। फिर से मैं आपका शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ।
I'm sorry I couldn't speak in Marathi because I don't know how far it has reached out to because of English. I don't know whether it made any sense to the students. No. I hope I was helpful in your, useful in your trial of it.
मैम न्यू जनरेशन तो इंग्लिश मीडियम का न्यू जनरेशन है, बहुत सारे इंग्लिश के बच्चे जानते हैं, वो तो उनको तो बहुत आसान लगता है इंग्लिश में बात करना, इंग्लिश में बात सुनना। ओरिजिनल लैंग्वेज को छोड़ देते हैं बाजू में।
नहीं छोड़ दीजिए। या you need help in that, I'll be.
Yes, yes. मैं राजकुमार टोम्पे जी से अनुरोध करता हूँ कि आज के सत्र का समारोह कर दे। राजकुमार टोम्पे सर। माइक ऑन कर सर, टोम्पे सर। टोम्पे सर माइक ऑन करा। Yes.
Today's Nature School program attend chief guest Miss Dr. Naina Patel has given the valuable time for our school, and she has given the many things in Andhra state, and his valuable time gives the for the nature school. That's why it's many lots of thanks. And another participate Praniti Jadhav, Dhage sir, Anna Jagtap sir, and all participate in nature school student parent. All of you thanks of lot of thanks. And this program is that end of the sense.
थैंक यू सर। मैम हम जुड़े रहेंगे और आपके विश्वविद्यालय जिसको ग्रीन पुरस्कार मिला है उसके बारे में भी बाद में बात करेंगे। आपसे छात्र से भी हमें बात करनी है और मिलजुल के जो हमारा नेचर स्कूल का कॉन्सेप्ट है कि इन्वायरमेंटल के बारे में बच्चों को केवल जागरूक ही नहीं करना, तो उनको एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट करना है, जो कि अगले सदियों तक जो इन्वायरमेंटल का क्वेश्चन हमारे सामने खड़े होने जा रहा है उसका कैसा हम रिवॉल्यूश करें और इन्वायरमेंट को कैसा मेंटेन करें, उसका प्रिजर्व कैसा करें, इसके बारे में हमें संयुक्त लेवल से कुछ विश्व भर पे सब हमारे जो पर्यावरण के बारे में सजग लोग हैं इनसे कुछ मिलाकर हम कुछ तो बड़ा कदम यहाँ पे उठाएंगे। इसलिए पहले छोटे छोटे कदम हमें साथ में चलना पड़ेगा और बाद में कुछ तो बड़ी सी बात हम कर पाएंगे। फिर से आपका मैं नेचर स्कूल्स की तरफ से बहुत बड़ा आभारी यहाँ पे रहता हूँ और सभी प्रत्याशी जो हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं उनका भी मैं तहे दिल से आभार यहाँ प्रकट करके आज का सेशन यहाँ समाप्त हुआ ऐसी उद्घोषणा करता हूँ।
और लावण्य मैडम से एक विनती है कि आप हमसे जुड़िए। आंध्र प्रदेश में नेचर स्कूल जितना बढ़ सकता है और आपका काम जो है वो भी बहुत बढ़िया है, तो चलो हम साथ मिलकर बच्चों के लिए अगले दिनों में वो कैसे जिए इसलिए काम करें। तो मैडम से रिक्वेस्ट है मेरी कि आंध्र प्रदेश से आप हमारे साथ आ जाइए। धन्यवाद।